Hello ladies and gentlemen, I am the Omni viewer, and for a while now, Godzilla King of the Monsters 2019 has been followed by one particular rumor that simply refused to go away. The rumor that Anguirus was somehow going to appear in the film. It seemed like every so often, sources would pop up saying that Anguirus was definitely going to appear in some capacity, though these sources were always of questionable veracity. However, and I admit I'm a little late to this, on June 8th, Mike Doherty tweeted in response to a question about any Easter eggs people might have missed, quote, "The skeleton of a creature that might or might not be Anguirus is briefly visible in one shot, just outside Godzilla's underwater lair." And even more recently, these images have made their way online. What we see here sure as heck does look like Anguirus, or at least a variation of Anguirus. The head is definitely Anguirus, and the hind legs also seem to indicate that sort of crawling posture he's known for. And even though he has spikes on his back, there appears to only be a single row, far from the spike-covered carapace he's known for. Nevertheless, this is clearly meant to be a reference to Anguirus, and he's there right outside of Godzilla's temple. So in a weird way, the Anguirus confirmed rumors were simultaneously true and false. He did kind of appear in the movie, but it wasn't as an active creature. This is something akin to all of those faces on the Grandmaster's temple in Thor Ragnarok. People who really know their Marvel comics can name each one of these characters, but to casual viewers, it's just interesting looking sculptures. So in some capacity, Anguirus does exist in the Monsterverse, but now we're left with the question, is this it? Is this the only bit of Anguirus we'll ever get to see in these movies, or will we see him in some other capacity? Some people might say this is the only thing we'll ever get because, well, this is a skeleton. Sure, it's meant to be Anguirus, but it's also clearly dead. But at the same time, let us not forget that in the Monsterverse, the Titans were not just singular entities, but members of superspecies. Just because this Anguirus is dead doesn't mean there aren't other Anguiruses, others of his species out there. In fact, of those 17 different Titans, we only ever saw 4 of them, so is it possible there was another Anguirus out there among them? I have suspected for a while now that the reason we didn't see every single Titan during the big global rampage in King of the Monsters is because Legendary was potentially leaving the door open. Obviously the ones we did see, Behemoth, Methuselah, Skyla, and so on, were original creatures. However, so long as the others remain unseen, they can potentially be anything. So should the Monsterverse continue, and should Legendary get the rights to more Toho Monsters, some of those blanks can be filled in with creatures that we already know from the series. And since recent statements have confirmed that not only are there plans to continue the Monsterverse, but Toho is also very excited to work with Legendary in continuing that Monsterverse, well, let's just say the odds of other Toho monsters showing up at some point have increased. Now with that being said, I don't think any other Toho monsters are going to appear in Godzilla vs. Kong, aside from the ones who have already appeared. Godzilla obviously is going to be there, Rodan has the potential to show up since he's still alive at the end, and Mothra, depending on if that really is another Mothra egg in the end credits, could show up as well. And naturally, I think it's safe to say Ghidorah's third head, aka Kevin, is going to play some sort of role in the plot. But unless we get some sort of statement confirming otherwise, at this point we should still temper our expectations as to other Toho monsters appearing in that film. Any rumors that say anything to that effect, especially the Destroya one, are to be taken as rumors until something official comes forward. But with that being said, there you go. Anguirus did kinda sorta show up in this movie. It's not in the capacity people were hoping it would be, but it doesn't necessarily rule out a far more active role in the future. Only time will tell. Until such time as we meet again, this is the Omni viewer signing off. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like it as well as subscribe to the channel for more content of a similar nature. Also, check the description for links to our Twitter, DeviantArt, and Patreon pages, as well as the Amazon link for the novel Operation Red Dragon: The Daikaiju Wars Part 1, penned by yours truly. Thank you all, and we appreciate your support.